What if a peaceful evening dive became a nightmare no one could escape? What if the water's calm surface hid a deadly force just waiting to be awakened? On January 4th, 2024, two skilled divers, Christopher Godet and Frédéric Pochet, set out to explore the waters of Belgium's Taille reservoir. But something terrible happened. Something so powerful, so unstoppable, that no equipment, skill, or experience could have saved them. This story isn't just about diving. It's about the hidden danger inside a beautiful place, choices made and warnings ignored, and two lives lost to something they never saw coming. As we go deeper into this true event, you'll discover how a simple dive turned into one of the most heartbreaking underwater tragedies ever recorded. And by the end, one question will stay with you. Why did they go so far? The Taille reservoir is located in the Wallonia region of Belgium. It's not just a large lake, it's part of a huge system of 5 man-made lakes. These lakes were created in the 1970s and are connected by a dam nearly 800 meters long. It's the largest artificial lake system in the whole country. This place is very popular for diving, but not for the usual reasons. Divers worldwide come here to see strange objects placed under the water on purpose. It's like an underwater museum, perfect for exploring. The Taille Dam isn't just a wall holding water, it's a working hydroelectric dam. That means it creates electricity by moving water from the reservoir. The dam has 4 giant turbines. Each one moves 400 cubic meters of water every second when these turbines are on. That's a huge amount of water being pulled with massive force. The most dangerous part? The turbines don't have a fixed schedule. They can turn on or off anytime depending on how much electricity is needed. No warning is given. The machines just start running. And when they do, they turn the peaceful water into a deadly current. To make matters worse, the dam used protective metal grids at the entrances of the turbine tunnels. These grids would stop anything from getting sucked in. But years ago, the authorities removed them. The reason? Strong water pressure often damaged the grids, and fixing them was too expensive and difficult. This made the area far more dangerous, especially for divers who went too close. To protect people, strict diving rules were set. Only 2 safe diving zones were allowed, Zone A and Zone B. Each zone had a radius of 150 meters. Diving beyond these zones was strictly forbidden. Divers were also told never to go deeper than 20 meters. They could still hear the turbines at this depth and stay far from danger. These rules weren't just advice, they were life-saving instructions. On the evening of January 4th, 2024, most people had already left the reservoir. It was a cold winter day, and the air was quiet. The sailing schools and diving centers were closed for the day. But 2 men were just getting started. Christopher Godet, a single banker from Liège, and his diving buddy Frédéric Pochet arrived at the site with plans for a serious dive. These weren't beginners, they were experienced and came fully prepared. They checked their equipment carefully. It was clear. They weren't just going for a casual swim. They were wearing closed-circuit rebreathers, advanced diving machines that recycle a diver's breath. Instead of releasing air into the water like normal gear, these rebreathers clean the air using filters and send it back to the diver, allowing them to stay underwater much longer. They also had underwater scooters. These machines help divers move quickly underwater without using too much energy. You just hold on, and the scooter pulls you forward. All this gear showed one thing clearly. They were planning to dive deep and far. And most likely, they were going to the dam itself. Most divers know about a deadly underwater force called delta P, differential pressure. It happens when water flows from a high-pressure area to a low-pressure one, like at the dam's intake tunnels. This creates a suction so strong it can pull in anything nearby. No swimmer can fight it. No machine can escape it. It's like a vacuum pulling everything toward the spinning blades. That's why the safety zones exist, to stay far from where delta P can reach. Christopher and Frédéric entered the cold water. As they went deeper, the sound from the surface faded away. They passed 20 meters, the safety depth. They kept going, 30 meters, then 35. Finally, they reached 40 meters. The pressure was 4 times stronger at that depth than at the surface. Then, they saw the huge tunnel leading to the dam's turbines. At first, everything was still. The turbines weren't running. Then, suddenly, a vibration filled the water. A low hum began to rise. Without warning, turbines turned on. Water began rushing through the dam at 106 cubic meters per second. At that moment, the divers were violently pulled toward the intake tunnel. It was too fast and too strong. There was no time to react, no chance to swim away. They were dragged from 50 to 70 meters deep into the spinning turbines. It was over in seconds. The next day, Frederick's son got worried. He hadn't heard from his father. When he went to the reservoir on Friday morning, he saw something terrifying. His father's car was still parked there. He called the authorities immediately. Belgian Civil Protection and the Disaster Victim Identification Team rushed to the scene. 10 expert divers with sonar equipment began searching the reservoir. Soon, they found broken diving gear, rebreathers, scooters, diving vests, all damaged, floating near the dam. The search continued. Benoit Michel, who managed the local dive center, confirmed something terrible. The turbines were running at the time of the dive. Despite this, Frederick's son still had hope. He believed his father and Christopher were strong swimmers and skilled divers. But even Olympic swimmers can only go 2.36 meters per second. The turbine's suction pulls at 10 to 30 meters per second, so not even their scooters, which go about 2.8 meters per second, stood a chance. The laws of physics were against them. Even if the grids had been there, they would have been pinned and drowned. 2 days after the dive, weather conditions made things worse. Rain poured, and visibility dropped. Search teams brought helicopters with thermal cameras to scan the water and nearby land. At 12:30 p.m., they found what they had feared: body parts downstream of the dam. Later, more remains were found a kilometer away on the shoreline. The autopsies confirmed it. The remains belonged to Christopher Godet and Frederick Pochet. Why did they go so deep? Did they think the turbines wouldn't turn on? Did they misjudge the timing? Or were they trying to do something risky? If they had stayed within the safety zones, they would still be alive. Today, people still come to the Taille reservoir to dive, sail, and enjoy the water. Next time someone prepares to dive into Taille, they'll remember the invisible line that shouldn't be crossed, and the 2 divers who did and never came back. That's all for today's video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss our next deep dive.